complex problem because we have to do a better job of reaching kids and maybe, revisit the way we teach in schools, because so many kids at that age, you're competing with so much in their lives and so many changes in their lives that you really have to be a little bit more, we have to do a better job. Right. The parents, the teachers, we have to do it instead of punishing them. I mean, I have 2 teenagers. You can't punish them. They want to learn. They like to learn. You just have to do it right instead of bore them to death and stop treating them like,
like children.
Treat them like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And teachers, I noticed that there are a lot of teachers who don't.
And teachers really get, they're under a lot of pressure too, from parents, from politicians, from parental groups.
I agree, but the way adults treat teenagers today in society, the way parents treat their teenagers, it's just, to me, it's appalling. You should treat them with respect. Treat them like adults. Don't expect them to act that way, but treat them the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Oh, we yell, we lecture. They get it already. Be quiet. So, you know what I just saw on TV on PBS? PBS was doing a program on, I think it had to do with, could be their Ethics and Religion Weekly program, because it couldn't have been anything else. And they were showing some programs put on by the black community to reach out to the youngsters and teach them a business ethic. They were teaching them how to be business people. And they were selling things that they made in the school. It was a special school, like a charter school. Or now it's like a camp that the kids go to. One was, I think, called Entrenuity. But it's all biblically
based. Sounds like
based.
a Stephen Colbert word.
Yes, yes. But it's biblically based. In that classroom where the blacks, all those black children are being taught that to be an ethical business person, you have to have a respect for others that comes through God. Through believing in God, and we were looking at all those faces of those students, and I wish the black community would stop it already. You don't need to have the God factor in everything you do.
But the second commandment shows that God has no respect, because it says, "You shall not have no other gods before me." Where's the respect in that statement?
No, there is not.
And slavery in this country was justified biblically.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that wrote brilliant treatises on why we should have slavery and how it was.
The blacks don't need the church anymore. They've made it. Okay, you've come past that point where that's you've made it past that point of social maturity. You don't have to go through religion anymore. I'm just waiting for that to happen. But I looked at that sea of faces, those students.
It's second nature, though. I mean,
it really is.
It's second nature.
I know.
I mean, it would never occur to them to do anything else.
I know.
I
agree.
That's the emotional default.
Right.
Good business practices do not have to be biblically or religiously based. They have to be rationally based, logically based, and of course, there's a certain thing called ethics. Why is that show on TV called Religion and Ethics Weekly? They don't say Religious Ethics Weekly,
right?
Because religious ethics are they're relative. They always talk about the secular world having a relative morality, and that is so false, because to me it is the religious world that has relative moralities. Depending on what you believe in and how you want to behave, there's a church for you. All right? There is just no doubt about it. There is a church for you.
Or you could take the point that, in fact, moral relevant, everybody is morally relevant. I mean,
to a degree, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. When there's a difference between making your judgments according to a given situation based on what you hope or would like or believe is the best solution. There's a difference between that and anything goes, which is what conservatives try to portray, moral relativism as being, which is not what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to know how many secularists have been busted lately in the news. Everyone you see is a conservative or Republican, right. and they're the same ones that went after Bill Clinton.
Right.
Well, at least Bill Clinton had an affair with an adult woman. Which one of the Republicans have?
Right.
I don't think one.
But the thing is, there's
either children or boys or something weird, bathroom things.
And there's enough of that. There's enough of that to go around on both sides.
I'm sure there is.
But the reason why the Republicans and other conservatives are being taken to task about it is because they're the ones that are supposed to be fighting this. They're the ones that have been got into office based on holier than thou, based on compassionate conservatism, based on family values and all this stuff. That's why.
And because we're religious, we
Yeah.
are better. We are more ethical.
Moral and going
That's
to protect
right.
your families and your kids and all that other stuff. So that's why it's an issue. I mean, yeah, they're.
You know what? Can we talk about the one from Minneapolis? Speaking of Minneapolis, in next year, next March 21st and 22nd, American Atheist is holding its convention in Minneapolis. So you can, that's what's the famous restroom is in Minneapolis, right? Okay. So, and was it Craig?
Well, by the way, I will be.
Senator Craig, right?
Right,
He's the
right,
one.
right.
All right. What is the big to-do? If he wants, I mean, the only thing I see that's a problem there is that he cheated on his wife. That, to me, is between them. But what he wants to do in a restroom,
Well,
what did I miss? Because if he wants
first
to...
of all,
Well, I think the public restroom is an
yeah,
issue.
yeah, the public.
All right,
restroom is an
it's a
issue.
public area.
Yes.
Again,
were they going to
I
have-
agree with you.
Were they going to have sex in the restroom?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, okay,
I'm
I
sure.
get it now.
I think that was the intent.
Yeah.
I agree with you. What his preferences are,
I
what
don't
his
believe it.
orientation are, what his personal desires are, I have no interest in. If he keeps it private and to himself with consenting adults.
Yeah. But they were going to do it in the restroom? Really?
Or at least make
didn't
a
know that.
make a contact in the restroom or something like that,
I think that the restroom was being monitored because that's general practice. I mean, people get busted in men's rooms, primarily because that's the place where the
Well,
incident occurs.
if two people are having sex in a public bathroom, stop them and throw them out.
They should
Exactly. I mean, that's what you do. Do you really want to arrest people for that?
Or
For soliciting?
you put a bar in there and turn it into a club and it becomes an event. We could change that around.
All
Right, and you'd fill up the tax coffers like
Yeah, right.
You cancel the deficit.
But the thing is that religion for so long has claimed to have a moral high ground, and yet, just like the existence of God, the claims are not based in any known reality.
Right.
And so, I mean, and another thing that I've had a chance to do is by stepping back, is being able to observe a lot of people. And I tell you, Ellen, I would still have to say, the non-religious people that I come in contact with, probably based upon the fact that they are honest with themselves about their religious views, are more honest, dependable people. Because they're not into fooling themselves. Once you fool yourself, you can fool anybody.
That's a good point.
And if you can be honest with yourself about religion, and go against the grain and say, I'm sorry, I do find those people to be more dependable. Are they perfect? No, none of us are perfect.
No, they're not perfect.
All right? They're still going to have their problems just like anybody else. But in general, the hypocrisy factor is so reduced. It really is. I wish sociologists would do a study of that.
I want to bring something up that's completely off the topic. So, listeners, excuse me.
We had a topic?
Yeah, we had. This is completely off the morality topic. But the Vic's character with the animal fights, because your wife is an animal rights. She's an activist, right? Mm-hmm. Right? What's his name? Vic's.
Michael Vicks.
Michael Vicks. Michael Vicks was
football
caught
player.
with the dog fights, and he had dog fights for money at his home. He's a football player, professional football player. And then he killed the animals with his bare hands after, when he didn't need them anymore. Okay, so he was charged with